Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Hey, Christopher sent me an interesting story. It caught my eye because it involves Geena Davis, who's an actress, and you may recognize the name. She's not the world's most famous actress, but she's been in a bunch of stuff. She was actually in a very early episode of Family Ties, quite early in her career. And I'm not sure why I've got that little fact stuck in my head, but I do. But she's in the news because Geena Davis says she never married doctor filing for divorce. A man is divorcing her, but she says we're not even married. So there's that twist. The Oscar-winning actress says she never obtained a marriage license. And that little technicality is what she's hanging her hat on, as they say. Geena Davis testified Thursday she does not believe she was ever legally married to a plastic surgeon who filed for divorce from her in 2018, even though a video of a 2001 wedding ceremony appears to show her vowing to love him as her husband until death. Well, they haven't gotten that far yet, but testifying during a Los Angeles Superior Court hearing to determine the validity of her marriage to Dr. Reza Jarrahi, I could be mispronouncing it and I apologize, the 63-year-old Oscar-winning actress said that the former couple never obtained a marriage license, that she does not believe his father, who performed the ceremony, was qualified under New York law to marry the couple in the way a priest, rabbi, or judge could. It gets interesting. The Iranian-American Jarrahi maintains his father was a valid officiant under Islamic law. The 48-year-old physician filed his petition in May of 2018, and he is seeking spousal support. Judge Mark Uhas, I could be mispronouncing that also, but this is one of those stories, said his only task is to decide whether Jarrahi's father had the authority to marry the couple. But Jarrahi's lawyer said the video of the purported wedding that took place in the Hamptons on Long Island, New York in September 2001 is also a test of the actress's credibility. Now, you got to give an attorney credit for thinking this up, but it falls apart quickly. According to that attorney, Davis had her publicist tell the world the day after the ceremony that she and the doctor were married. If we believed everything publicists told us, okay, we'd have a different standard for truth and believability. The actress held herself out as a married woman for the duration of the 17-year relationship with Jarrahi, according to the attorney. And then the attorney played the video of the ceremony in court during the hearing and said, "Hey, judge, look at this. She's up there taking vows." The attorney then questioned Davis about her vows in the video when she told Jarrahi that she considered him her husband and that she would love him until, quote, "the end of my days," unquote. The attorney asked her, "Were you lying when you said that?" To which Davis said under oath, "No." But remember, these are wedding vows. And the attorney then says, "You meant that?" And she said, "Yes." Okay. The attorney has also argued that Davis researched and planned the ceremony and agreed that Jarrahi's father could officiate. But keep in mind, it's not up to the parties as to whether or not the person's got authority to perform the ceremony. It's up to the state within which they're being married. Okay? So that's why in some states you can get married by an Elvis impersonator. And his only claim to fame is he's an Elvis impersonator who conducts weddings. Okay? Not every state says, "Oh, let's hear your hound dog." Okay, you're good. Judge Uhas said he was not convinced by the attorney's argument. And he said, and this is the quote from the judge, "People say things at weddings," adding that if everyone is held to what they said during their vows, no one could legally divorce. Good point, Judge. People say all kinds of things. Earlier in her testimony, Davis said that she and Jarrahi agreed not to get a marriage license until after the ceremony. She said she had been married 3 times before and feared the media could find the license, figure out where the ceremony was being held, and disrupt it with helicopters and paparazzi, as they did with one of her previous weddings. So that's a valid point. Davis said they had never obtained a marriage license and that the Screen Actors Guild had in fact denied Jarrahi a request to join her health insurance plan because he could not produce one. That is, he couldn't produce any evidence that the two were married. She said that during their relationship, they filed separate tax returns and held property in their own names. She said she paid the household expenses out of her own pocket. Davis testified that Jarahi did not claim the two were even legally married until they separated. When he told her that he believed they were together long enough to have a common law marriage. And of course, that's a problem in California because California does not recognize common law marriages. So there's that. The couple have a 17-year-old daughter and twin 15-year-old sons. Jarahi filed for divorce in May of 2018 and is asking for spousal support, as well as joint legal and physical custody of the children. So this story is being reported by the City News Service, and it's one of those interesting things. So, I hate to even hazard a guess on this one. They never got a marriage license, presumably, because they can't produce one. And it appears that the ceremony wasn't even performed by somebody who was qualified to officiate. Now, if the person was qualified to officiate, that's something. But with no marriage license, that's a problem. So, like I said, different states have got different rules on this. And that's one of the problems you have. When a marriage is done in one state and then dissolved in another state, and you have a fight like this, because a California judge might look at it and go, I know what the laws are in California with respect to what makes a marriage legal, but what are what are the facts and requirements in another state? And then next thing you know, you're talking about people getting married in other countries. Imagine that, but it happens. So all of this stuff, bets are off, out the window. But unfortunately, because she's famous, this will make the news. Because they have money between the two of them, sounds like she might have more than he does, this will also be in the news. And it's also one of those things that might be worth fighting for them, okay? So if you were to go down to, I don't know, pick a circuit court in Michigan, say, Livingston County Circuit Court in Michigan, okay? And just sit in there one day and watch the divorce proceedings. And you'll see a parade of people who come in there. And what happens is one of them filed divorce papers. The other one said, something, be gone, I don't care. And somewhere down the road, one party comes into court, gets up on the stand, testifies to a few basic facts about how the marriage fell apart, and the objects of matrimony have been destroyed such that the parties will never get back together again. And they ask the court for divorce, and a few other things get complicated. There's a lot of property, a lot of kids, but there's no children and not a lot of property. It's like boom, boom, boom. I've seen traffic tickets that took longer than some divorce cases when it comes to what gets put on the record in court, okay? And so there's a few questions they ask, a few answers you give, you raise your right hand, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, judge grants a divorce, gavel comes down, paperwork gets filed, and you are now a free person. So 99.99999% of all these divorces that happen are just run-of-the-mill, boring, nobody could care about them except for the people who are involved, which is good, But once in a while, you hear about the crazy ones. I did a video not too long ago about the totally out-of-control divorce case from Oakland County, Michigan, where the docket sheet was literally like pages and pages long. They'd burned through dozens and dozens of attorneys. Several judges had gone up on appeal a bunch of times. All kinds of people being held in contempt of court. A nightmare. But for every one of those, or every one of the Geena Davis divorces or whatever, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of just run-of-the-mill paperwork, other than that, nothing, just boredom. So don't think that all divorces are this exciting. And I know you're saying, Steve, Geena Davis, really? You remember Geena Davis for some odd reason. I'm just telling you that when I saw the name, I thought, Geena Davis. I remember I liked her a lot. I liked her. She hasn't been in a whole lot lately. I know that. At least I don't know if she has been. Let's put it that way. But the point is that Geena Davis is going through a divorce, which she at least is arguing is kind of silly considering she's not married. But my favorite point of the entire piece is when the judge said, people say things at weddings. Yes, they do. And there you have it. So thanks, Christopher, for the story. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Lehto's Law.